Welcome back, clever home buyers. Okay, so now I really want to go into the same degree of detail as I just did with mortgage brokers. I want to talk about building and pest inspectors. At this stage in the process, yeah, you haven't found a home. So why on earth would I be trying to tell you to sort out your building and pest inspector now? Like maybe you won't find the home that you want to have inspected for another 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, who knows? However, having your building and pest inspector lined up now is key because at this stage, we simply need to ensure that you've got the contact information and pricing of a preferred inspector. In fact, we often say that you should investigate 2 or 3 inspectors because one may not be available. The trouble is, at the moment, the building and pest inspectors are really hard to come by. And so you need to ask them about their availability. Once you've found 2 or 3 who you think, yeah, I like this guy, I've seen their sample reports, I like the way they're laid out, they're easy to understand, the guy's a good communicator, or the woman, she's explains everything in a lot of detail when I talk to her on the phone. Start keeping the names and numbers of these people because when you need a building and pest inspection done at short notice, you're going to need to be able to find someone that you like quickly. So, firstly, you should select an inspector or inspectors based on the quality of their inspections. That often comes down to reviews, recommendations, and their reputation. You can't afford to hire a dodgy inspector who might skip or miss something critical. Secondly, you need to attend the inspections. You should follow them around whilst they conduct the inspection so they can chat with you about everything they observe. Thirdly, you can hire an inspector who does both building and pest inspections, or you can select a building inspector and a separate pest inspector. I like having one person who does both jobs as it's just one appointment that you need to attend. However, don't let the ease of the appointment make the decision for you. If you think the home needs a really good, thorough building inspection, get the right building inspector for that. And if you're frightened about termites and you don't want a quick termite inspection, then hire a company who specializes in termites. It might cost a bit more, but if this is the home that you truly want to buy, there's always things you have to weigh up in life. This is one of them. And so people often ask me, should we skip a building and pest inspection? And so that's why we've got a whole another video down in module 4 about that. So today's just really making sure that you understand the importance of a building and pest inspector up front so that you can do your homework and have one sorted for when you actually do need one, when you really need one and you can't find one. Thirdly, yes, and ask about their availability. So it's crucial that you ensure that an inspector can accommodate your timeline and provide the report promptly, especially if you're on a tight schedule. And so we often state 5 days building and pest inspection timeframes in our offers. It makes the offer seem more attractive because a lot of other people will say 7 days or more. But it also means that we need the inspection conducted and the report provided within 2 to 3 days so that we have time to react to that report if something pops up in the report. Generally at the top of the report, they'll usually have something at the top saying this is the red flags that we've noticed. Otherwise, everything's as it should be for a home this age. But if you're walking around with the building and pest inspector, you'll get that information pretty clearly and quickly from them on the day. And then you might not have to wait for that report to come through because you're actually physically there. You can say to him or her, oh, so you've got a feeling that there is something wrong with the way that that was constructed. You can start doing your homework and investigating that before they even send the report through. So you're on top of things so you can still find out if you want to buy that home before it's time to place the offer or the deadline's coming or the auction's coming. Check their qualifications and experience. Ensure the inspector is licensed and is a member of the Queensland Building and Construction Commission. Ask about inspection methods. Inquire about the tools and techniques they use during inspections. For example, some termites really can only be found if they've got like a heat meter. There's a better name for it. Can you believe it? I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right this minute. That's frustrating. It's like an infrared thing they point at the walls and it shows the termites in the walls. And I'm embarrassed now because I can't remember the name of it. Ask what they use. Oh my gosh, don't tell me it's written there. It's written there. And more about the tools and techniques they use during inspections. Advanced methods like thermal imaging. Wow, was I trying to think of that? Moisture meters and endoscopes can provide a more thorough assessment. Request a sample report and check their insurance coverage. So obviously we go into more detail in module 4, and I have a sample building and pest report there for you that we'll go through. But building and pest inspectors, just want you to know in module 1, start getting them lined up now. Don't wait until you suddenly need to find one and you're hiring dodgy Dan because he's the only one available.